Hello, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum. This is C.S. Chaitali Jani, Director in charge of LG School of Law. Welcome you all to the first video session on family law. You must be wondering, why did I greet you in three different ways? Hello, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum. There is a reason behind it, because we are going to deal with family law, and family law covers the personal laws of Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Parsis, Jews. So that is why I greeted you all in different religious ways. Before moving to the particular topic of today's session, I would like to give you a brief overview of the entire subject. Family law is a very interesting subject, and a subject which the disputes of this subject will be very relevant in day to day life. So it makes it all the more interesting. The subject is very vast, and that is why it is divided in two parts. So paper 1 of family law you will be studying in semester 3, and paper 2 of family law you will be studying in semester 4. So what are we going to cover basically in both the papers? I'll just give you a brief overview of the subject. As I mentioned, we'll be studying different personal laws. Then after, the subject will start with the concept of family. What is family? Types of family, sources of personal laws. For example, Hindu law, Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, all these laws, from where these laws came. Basically, there are ancient sources of law, like for Hindu law, it is Vedas and Purans. There are modern sources of law as well. For Muslim law, there are Quran, Hadith, etc. So all those sources will be covering in detail. Then we'll be moving to the marriages under different personal laws. The ceremony of marriage is different in different communities, different religions. We have validity, valid marriage, invalid marriage, void marriage, voidable marriage. The condition for all these things are different in different personal laws. Even it is different in Special Marriage Act. Special Marriage Act comes in picture where both the parties who are getting married are from different religions. So Special Marriage Act applies to them, and there are other conditions also that we'll discuss in due course of time. Apart from that, we'll be dealing with matrimonial disputes, remedies, and types of divorce, like mutual divorce with mutual consent, unilateral divorce. There are many types of divorce. Even in Muslims, types of talaq is there. So all those things will be covered here. Then after, we'll move to guardianship, adoption, alimony, and maintenance. So adoption rules are different in personal laws, as well as there are CARA guidelines for adoption of a child. That will be covered under the subject. Then we'll move to maintenance. Maintenance of spouse, children, neglected wife, parents, grandparents, under CRPC, as well as under personal laws. Then after, very important topic, that is succession. The property succession, after death of a person, there can be testamentary transfer, there can be non-testamentary transfer, wills would come in picture. What if a person dies without making a will? So all these things will be covered under succession. Again, we have different succession rules in different religions. So that will be covered in part 2 of family law, which you will be studying in semester 4, along with different family code procedures, etc. So this is just a brief overview of the subject, and now let's move on to the topic for today's session. First of all, we need to understand here, what is a family? So family is a social group of persons united by ties of marriage, blood, or adoption. We all know what is family, like we are living together with our parents, grandparents, brother, sister, wife, husband, children. So all those make a unit which is known as family. So family is a very small unit, but very vital in a social organization. So family, the people in the family are connected in three different ways. Number one, by blood. You may be connected with somebody in your family by blood, by ties of marriage, or through adoption. So these are the only three ways in which a family is made. So we in a family, we perform our different functions as a husband, wife, brother, sister, and that makes a special unit, often consisting of a single household interacting and communicating with each other. Here the important pertinent question is, can a single male or female make a family? No. A single male or female cannot make a family. Family word comes only in a group. That means it is a plural word. So, no single person can make a family. Let's move on to. So, let's start with the concept of origin of family. Okay. So, let's discuss the point origin of family, that is how the family system came in force as we see it today. We can divide it in three different parts: prehistoric period, then the civilized period, and the modern society as we see today. So let's start with the prehistoric period. In prehistoric period, the men used to live like a big beast. They used to fight for food and female to each other. There were no civilized society, there were no rules and regulation. Then gradually the transformation from animal existence to civilized life occurred. When this transformation occurred, the people started believing to live in groups, clans, and tribes because they feel more protected to live in group, to live in clan for protecting their own food, they are protecting their female, and that is why the concept of clans developed. Then after, when they started living in group, they decided to have some rules and regulations, and the concept of marriage developed, and that leads to end of clan war, because now there is no need to fight for female, you have your own married wife. So the concept of marriage developed, and from that the evolution of concept of family, having children, all those things developed in the prehistoric period. The concept of family gave birth to society. We have different small units of family, and that makes the entire society. And rules of society gave birth to law. So the concept of family law, family, we have just discussed what is family and how the family law came. Because when you are living in separate unit of family, you need to have some rules. So that society gave birth to the concept of family law. As per Roman law, it is being said that where there is a society, there is a law. So as there is a civilized society, there will be different laws and rules and regulations. So let's move on to the second part, that is the civilized society. So here first we need to understand what is the concept of marriage and what is the need for getting married. So why do people get married? The first reason can be entering into sexual relationship. It gives the relationship legitimacy. The foremost and most important reason for getting married is procreation of children. The children get legitimate status in the society if they are born out of wedlock. The third one is to give legitimate status, as I discussed. Fourth one, establishing a household. When you get married, you have your own family, you have your household. So that is the main reason for getting married. Different religions see marriage in different way. In Hindus, marriage is a social sacrament. Pavitra Rishta, Janam Janam Ka Rishta, which is indissoluble. In Muslims, it is a civil contract. In Christians also, it is considered as a contract. So different religions see marriage differently. Let's see, in the developed civilization, after marriage we develop family. So what are the functions of a family? The first function of a family is bonding among the members. You feel protected, you feel you being loved, being affectionate, and that is very important for a human being. Then we can have, it provides buffer. against emotional turbulence, shock, pain and mental trauma. Whenever we are in trouble, we look forward for our family. Family provides love, warmth, sense of belonging and well-being to its members. Family helps to develop and transmit traditions, choice of religion, value system and social norms. As we say, sanskar kahan se aate hain? So it comes from the family. So it transmits traditions, choice of religion. Generally, a person born in a Hindu family is a Hindu. So it transmits culture, it transmits a religion generation to generation. It develops a value system. The value system is different in different families. It decides the social norms for the society. Let's move on to the third part. First was prehistoric, then development of society, and now the modern family and current developments as we see it today. So, industrialization, Renaissance and social reformation movements changed the idea of family. It is not same as it was there in Vedic time. Nowadays, because of women empowerment, women are going out for job. We are we are seeing so many nuclear families from joint family, where people need more freedom. Women are empowered, they are earning, they are taking part in the decision making. It is not only men who is considered as the head of the family today. We have migrant laborers. They may lose contact and connect with the extended family who are left behind in the village. They would be concentrating on their small unit of family which is living with them in the urban area. Then the emerging issues we have today, that is live-in relationship and Maitri Karar, where people don't like to get entered into the married relationship, but they want to enjoy each other's company. Even they may give birth to children. Now what would be the rights of those children? What is live-in relationship? All those things are covered under modern family concept of family law. So we have seen the origin of family from prehistoric time to the modern time. So now let's move on to the next topic, that is types of family. What are the major types of family world over? So on the basis of ancestry, there are two types of family, matrilinear family and patrilinear family. So matrilinear families, in matrilinear family, the lineage is through mother. The surname of mother is to be followed, the dynasty is through mother. In patrilinear family, which is very very common, like father's surname, father's lineage we are following. Same way we can discuss on the basis of authority. Again it is matrilinear and patrilinear. A woman is the head of the family in matrilinear family. The descent is through woman and only female succeeds to the property. Completely opposite to this is patrilinear family, which we normally follow. The senior most head male member is considered as the head of the family and descent is through father. So we get the surname of our father. Generally, matrilineal family is being followed in the northeastern part of India, Khasi community. But in that, in matrilineal, they just follow the surname, the female descent is being followed, but women is not considered as the head of the family. So it's kind of a mixed culture. Then we can have third on the basis of affiliation, endogamous family and exogamous family. In endogamous family, marriages are performed among the kith and kins of the family. So in the same clan, in the same family, the cousins can get married. It happens in Muslim families, so they are known as endogamous families. Compared to that, in exogamous families, marriages are performed outside the family. The cousins cannot get married. Fourth one is based on the size of the family, which is very very common to understand. Nuclear family and joint family. So family consisting of only husband, wife and children is known as nuclear family, and these days most of the families are moving from joint family to nuclear family. Extended family, family consisting of father, mother, sons, their wives, their children, grandchildren, Even uncles and aunts are living together in the same family. That is the old tradition of Indian families. But as women is getting empowered, women are going for job and they want more freedom. So the nuclear families are more prevalent. The fifth one is on the basis of residence. Matrilocal family and patrilocal family. Again, matri means mother, patri means father. So matrilocal family, after marriage, the husband goes to the wife's home. So that is prevalent in some southern part of India. Patrilocal family, which is very very common, after marriage the woman goes to the house of the husband. The sixth one, that is on the basis of plurality. Monogamous family. Monogamous, husband having only one wife living. Monogamous, only one wife living. So that is there in Hindu law as well, where you can have only one wife living. Polygamous or polygynist family, where husband having more wives living. So in Muslims, four wives are allowed. So it is an example of polygamous family. Polyandrous family, where a wife having more than one husband. For example, if we see our mythology, Draupadi had 5 husbands. So it is an example of polyandrous family. So these are different types of families which we have discussed today. We have discussed the development of family and concept of family. In the next session, we'll see the sources of Hindu law, how Hindu law came in force. So I end my session here today. Thank you so much for the patient hearing. Good luck.